can be a comment like Gwen said. Whatever that is, it needs to go to Brian. If you're more comfortable filling out Connie's form, she will fax it. If you want to jot down a fax number.
And I'll fax it to Brian.
I'll say the fax number right now. I see a lot of you have pens. It's 213-367-4710. So, sure. 213-367-4710. The gentleman's name is Brian Gonzalez. His email is Brian, BRIAN.Gonzalez, GONZALEZ @LADWP.com. You can also mail it to him if you do want to put your own stamp on it. It's room number 1044. You can use the address on my card. You can also call me tomorrow if you'd like to follow up. What we would like to do now, this is Jahara Gastelum. She's our water recycling expert, and Jean Prendergast, she's an engineer on the project. We're gonna go through a little bit of information on the deck of slides that you have as quickly as possible so we have more time for you to ask questions. Does that sound good? So we can have a dialogue and hopefully we can answer a lot of what you came in wondering about tonight. And again, thank you, and I'm gonna turn it over to Jahira now.
So do most of you have, or are you guys sitting next to somebody with this handout? So this is going to be the reference that I'm going to,
if some of you guys can share and look on with your neighbor.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're here tonight basically to share with you information on project specifics. I know it's not the same to read a big fat pamphlet on something and versus, having something explained to you. So we're here to answer project specifics and give you some background on the bigger picture of how this project came about. So if you guys can just turn over to the page with the California map on it. So over 90% of our water sources come from hundreds of miles away. Okay, they're imported from three main sources: the State Water Project, the Colorado River, and the Los Angeles Aqueduct. The Los Angeles Aqueduct is that waterfall-looking feature that you guys see when driving up north to Magic Mountain. It's off to the side of the freeway, and the water that is collected in that aqueduct is collected from the Sierra Nevada mountains. So that's where our water travels from, all the way from the Sierra Nevada mountains. Okay, so I want you guys to keep that in mind. When you turn to the next page, the page with three pictures of California. So that page shows our snowpack since 2013 in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Okay, the first picture is from 2013. We were already in a drought in 2013, but you could see that there was a nice, there's a lot of white in that picture. There's a nice snowpack that is still visible. Okay, as the years have progressed, we've got progressively worse with our snowpack. So what does that mean? That means that our source of water, drinking water that we have up in the snow, has been diminishing. Okay, and so as a result of that, I don't know if you guys recall that California declared in a state of emergency back in 2013 because of severe drought conditions, and the mayor ordered something that's called an Executive Directive Number 5, where he basically mandated that we offset the use of drinking water to water things like golf courses, cemeteries. I mean, he didn't want the city using drinking water for those purposes. Okay, so one of the things that LADWP did is we went around and identified the golf courses and the areas that were using drinking water that we could basically convert to recycled water, so that we weren't using drinking water to water the grass. And had we not done that, a lot of people don't know this, but after 2015, I mean, we were very close to running out of our emergency supply of water. It was bad. So before the system could absorb the demand of Hansen Dam Golf Course, just to give you guys an idea of how much drinking water was being used to water that golf course, if you can picture 417 football fields stacked on top of each other, flooded to 1 foot, okay, and stacked on top of each other. That's how much drinking water was being used to irrigate Hansen Dam Golf Course. So when we saw that, we said, you know what, we don't have the system built out yet, which this means a tank to be able to water that golf course. But we're gonna take a risk here and strain our system and basically, you know, convert that site to recycled water so that we don't have to be using drinking water to water the golf course. Okay, so we went ahead and worked with Rec and Parks, converted the golf course to recycled water, but now we're coming back and we're trying to build the tank that the system needs. And so this is the why, you know, why are we building this tank? Why was the area in the Hanson Hills selected? Just by a show of hands, how many of you live in Hanson Hills? And you know, I'm glad that you're all here. I'm glad that you're all here. We're here to answer your questions. So, just so you know, why was that area selected?
Yeah.
Okay, and that area was selected because if you look around, it's the only hill in the valley.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Right by the Gulf, there is a hill right up the hill.
It's not.
And put it right there.
It's
and
not Los
very
Angeles
close,
property.
We don't have to break streets. Nothing.
I understand, but
What about Mission
it's
Hills?
not our property, and so we can't use it. That belongs to LA County, and I know that it's kind of.
Who's the golf course
Buy it.
belongs to? Is that a private organization?
Okay, so the golf course areas in the
Belongs to the
golf course,
city.
right? And
Let
so
them absorb all of this.
areas.
They can put the tower by the golf
their
course, but
property.
it belongs to the
So
city.
if you guys can, you know, just let me finish.
Yeah, close it for your
Close it. It's like 20 people that go play golf there.
Exactly.
But that's
Okay,
all-
one person at a time, please,
Oh,
please.
you know, those are things that we don't have control over. I mean, on golf courses.
But you have the control to build the tank.
I'm sorry?
You don't have the control about that, but you have the control to build the tank.
I'm telling you why we're building the tank, and it's basically so that, you know, that's what our system needs to be able to provide, to supply water.
Then you guys should have been controlled enough to ask us if we wanted it in our neighborhood.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
Or you should have
Yes,
been controlled
first of
enough to
all.
come and say, if we don't put it there, where else can we put it?
we're here
The
today to
question
give you
is,
project specifics and, you
Yes or
know.
no? Would you put it in your neighborhood? Yes or no?
Yeah, absolutely.
Next door to your house.
Right next door to your house, Christina?
How many of us, excuse me, how many of us that live in Hanson Hills use the Hanson Hill golf course? That's your name?
Thank you.
Okay,
Hello?
so I'm going to continue with all of these comments, you know, are valid, and as we said, you know, you can submit them to Brian and he'll respond to each and every one of you. But we're here to give you project specifics. What is this project? Where is it going to be located? Because, you know, we don't want anybody to come out and say, you know, nobody ever came out and told us and talked to us about it. So that's why.
You have to ask. You can't say, we're gonna tell you we're gonna put this here.
Now, just Christina, you said, you told me,
210 houses.
right, I just want to mention, Christina told me on the phone that this is not the last draw, this 17th thing. She swore that this is not the end of it. If we put up enough protests, it can change. We can change it. All right? So, yeah, right? Did you not tell me that?
So your comment.
You didn't say that?
I don't think that's true. Is that true?
You know, they.
Wasn't it you who said that?
There has to be, maybe the timing, the timing is the timing. There has to be an initial announcement. The schedule that you see on the sheet may not be the schedule set in stone, and that's what we were talking about. That schedule could change. All our T's and I's haven't been crossed.
Yeah. There's seriously something wrong with
So that's why we
that.
need your comment
No, we
about the
understand.
alternate hill.
That's why we're
Maybe
here.
something to do with the elevation. I don't know if it's
It's
the same.
it's right above, immediately above the entire Gulf. And it's a beautiful mountain.
We're
All right.
gonna
So
ask you.
again, that's a great comment, and she's gonna
Believe me,
finish, and
there's
then
no
we're gonna.
houses to be affected.
Okay.
If there is a huge earthquake, 9.5, nobody except the trees are gonna be affected. They're gonna get all that million gallons of water. They're all gonna get it, and they're gonna get soaked in water.
So we're gonna continue with the presentation, just to give you guys the project specifics, and then, you know, we're gonna welcome your comments and questions at the end. but please, I ask you just listen to us. You know, we're here in good faith. I mean, we're not doing this. You know, we're here to answer your questions. We understand that there's concerns. There's a lot of misinformation out there, so we're here for that. But we'd like to be listened to and at least share with you the project specifics, so that you know your questions are geared more towards that. Okay, so I left off on the sheet where we have a picture of the drought conditions, okay, where we had declared, California was declared a state of emergency. And so we started implementing a lot of recycled water projects throughout the city to offset the use of potable water. Some of those uses were irrigating landscaping, golf courses, parks, cemeteries. We also have use it for dust mitigation. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but sometimes there's water trucks that come and they'll spray water out in areas like the soil depot that's next to the airport, just other areas that have large open dust areas. So they'll come and spray water, and so that water is recycled water. That's another use for recycled water. We also use it for commercial, industrial, and for recreational facilities such as Lake Balboa and the Japanese Garden. So that's a little bit of background on the recycled water. Now I'm going to hand it over to Jean so that she can cover more of the project specifics. And then I'm just gonna ask you, please, I know that you guys have a lot of questions, comments, concerns, but I'm gonna ask you to just hold it till the end so that she can go over the project specifics with you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Jean Prendergast, and I know we're on a time frame here, and so I want to go through these slides, you know, as quickly as we can so that we can get to your questions. But again, like Jahira said, we're here to sort of give you the overview with the correct information about the project so that you have it in hand. And so let me get started. And then this slide is the sort of the project map. What you see and the purple there, that's existing pipe going to a tank over in one of our facilities at Valley Generating Station. It's called Hanson Tank. And as Jahira mentioned, during the drought, an emergency, declared emergency for the state and the city, we were able to provide the water to Hanson Golf Course. And now it's essential that we provide the actual infrastructure that's going to sustain that, which is the orange part. When that's it's 8,400 feet of pipe, and then the tank that's positioned up on the airport property up there.
That's not the airport property, is that correct?
The tank is, but the access road
is on the airport side of our property. Yeah, it's on, it's on the county property up there at the airport. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures, and that we do have, as you know, we have purchased property at the end of Garber Street, the home at the end of Garber Street, and that will be an access driveway to get up to the tank. So it'll cross from the city property over to the county property. And then we're in the process of obtaining an easement on the county property, working with the airports to get the property that we need for the tank to sit. This next slide, I'm hoping when we get through all the slides it'll make sense, but when you look at the next slide, it's just this is just a, don't let the red scare you. It's just an outline of the grading area, or the area that will be affected, that we're going to need to move dirt around in order to create the driveway up to the tank site, and then the tank site itself for us to create a flat enough area for us to put it. We're actually taking about 30 feet off that hill on the other side of the hill. And I want to show you some more pictures about that in this slide deck. If you go to the following slide, you'll see just kind of our rendering of what we're talking about here. You see the Garber Street cul-de-sac is sort of marked over in the corner, and our driveway, it's just a 15-foot driveway, so